Hello everyone, Danny here today to talk to you about Mark Sisson and Brad Kearns' book, Primal Endurance. But before I get into the book, you're seeing nothing but blank walls behind me. Real quick explanation. My wife and I decided to redo the hardwood floors. See how beautifully sanded those hardwood floors there are? With my job, I work 5 on, 3 off. So started my weekend. I had 3 days in which to get these floors all done. A couple of drivers at work had some personal tragedies occur to them. They're friends of mine, and one of them was really horrific, what happened to his family. So lots of prayers going in their direction. But I ended up just getting the 1 day off and having to go back to work to cover shifts. So we still have bare floors, and we haven't been able to put anything back up on the walls because we're not done with them yet. So anyhow, back to the book. So this is a book that is designed specifically for endurance athletes. I do not consider myself an endurance athlete. I don't run marathons. I don't do triathlons. I do the Spartan races. And I've been doing the Spartan races for several years. I do run a couple of times a week to build up my endurance. So you ask, what's the difference between an endurance athlete and moi? He actually has a chapter in the book that answers that really well. It's his chapter on strength training for endurance athletes. In his strength training program, he goes into great detail about how to train so that you'll get stronger, and he explains why it will help your endurance, why endurance athletes want to get as strong as they can get. But the caveat is, his training program will help you get stronger without putting on a lick of muscle, because you don't want additional weight when you're doing a marathon. Okay. I do want to build my endurance. I do want to get faster. I do want to get stronger. I do want to lose this last 10 pounds of fat that's hanging around and has fallen in love with me and is refusing to divorce me like I want it to do. But I also want to put on muscle. I'm 48 years old. Supposedly it's impossible to put on muscle at the age of 48. I don't know that anything is truly impossible. They're constantly disproving common knowledge. So I'm going to do my best to burn the fat and build muscle, because that's my goal. So I'm not an endurance athlete. I don't want to be rail thin. I've never wanted to be rail thin. It's a personal preference of mine. That does not mean I did not get anything useful out of the book. In fact, this was one of the best fitness books I've listened to so far. Now, it starts off, to me personally, feeling a bit like an infomercial. The first quarter or so of the book has a lot of science in it, and if you're the type of person who really geeks out on the science, then you'll probably really enjoy that first bit of the book. But the science is presented in such a way as to show, okay, our program will help you turn into a fat-burning beast. And here's the science behind why it will help you turn into a fat-burning beast. Our program will help you run longer with fewer injuries. Here's the science behind why. And so the science is all aimed at showing what the book will eventually teach you, which is why it started to feel a bit like an infomercial to moi. I'm the kind of person, I want you to show me enough that I know, okay, I can trust this person. This person knows what they're talking about. Now let's get into the meat of it. What exactly am I supposed to do, and how will that bit of what you're teaching me affect me? But I hung tough. I got through that part of it. And then he's got chapters on eating to become, a primal athlete, on training. And the thing I like is his chapters on training are on training for the long term. Training so that 20, 30 years from now, you can still be training and you can still be around and being fit, and you're not stove up on the couch unable to move because you trained so badly. And I know several guys that by the time they're my age, 48, They're done at the gym. They're done running because they've ruined all their joints. I'm happy to say I was never that way. If I had something that started bothering me, I stopped doing the exercises that bothered it and gave it time to heal. So 48, I'm still able to train hard and go hard. Same kind of a thing. Something starts bothering me, I leave it alone. I put my ego on the shelf. Oh, hey, ego, go right there. That way I can go back to the gym. And I'll change my program, whatever. As you age, you kind of have to do that. So even though this book was aimed at a different type of athlete that I am, I still got a lot of good, useful information out of this book. I have changed some things in my diet. He explains, he actually gives numbers on carbohydrates and grams of carbohydrates. And based on what he's given there, I've made changes to my diet. He talks about some things to incorporate into your program and cut out the long distance runs, which I've been doing 4 to 6 mile runs a couple of times a week. And I'm changing up that portion. I'm not changing anything in the gym. There was nothing in the book that caused me to change anything in the gym, but I'm definitely changing how I'm training for the endurance portion of my training. So I got a lot of good, useful information out of this book. This book is going into my recommended list. I recommend this for pretty much anyone. I mean, even if you're a bodybuilder, and there's nothing in this book that relates to bodybuilding, there's some good dietary information in this, so you may still be able to get good dietary information out of it. Brad Kearns is a decent narrator. I would not say that he was an amazing narrator, but I had no problem listening to the book. I had no problem listening to him narrate his book, and he's one of the authors. I actually feel like I would prefer the audio version of this book over the written version of the book. And one of the reasons is Brad Kearns likes to do what he calls sidebars, to where he'll go off book. Okay, now here's a quick sidebar, and he goes off book about a subject. And it's kind of fun when he does that, and sometimes you really learn something from those sidebars. So any questions, comments, or feedback, please send them my direction. If you like my channel, please hit the subscribe button. And most of all, make sure that today you have at least one really good book in your day. Thank you. Bye.